Yeah. Martha Cowboy on the commission.
Okay, he's had a chance.
Sure, your mic close to you because it won't, otherwise it won't pick it up. I know you don't like it, Amy. I'm sorry. Jill's gonna like it.
Not being broadcast, just,
No,
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Yeah. So introductions. Oh, okay. So we can vote on the April 13th meeting minutes.
there's just one amendment to the April 13th minutes. Item, the day of caring, we thought it was the 20th, but it's the 14th.
Hmm.
We made that correction in the minutes.
Want to make a motion? to accept the-
I will move that we accept the minutes as written or amended. All in favor?
Did you get them?
Figure
I,
it was it?
I sent them right,
It was the day
I
after the
think
meeting.
I sent them the 15th.
Just, it was within a few days.
Yeah, it was-
Okay, the day of caring is. I guess the project is gonna be being invasive. We walked around the Garrett Trail, decided there weren't any invasive. We had.
There aren't many on, there was a few multifloral rows near the trailhead, but there aren't many. And even if there were, it would be hard. Well, anyways, there aren't
Yeah,
many to
So we'll do around
playing fields.
playing fields. And also we'll tackle shouldn't say field. I thought it was, the,
Knotweed.
pardon me, what, the
Knotweed.
Japanese knotweed and back middle, pick up the cardboard,
Dave.
Dave's appliance, and bring it, store it under a tarp. are you gonna do the knotweed?
I'm doing the knotweed.
That big tank thing that.
Yeah.
Store it.
Need help moving it on Wednesday, let me know.
Yeah, let me see.
I come in and do ILL at the I volunteer at the library Wednesday afternoon. It's usually up from like 1:30 to 3. If you need help handling.
Yeah, I need to be in Brunswick at 8. Be there.
Oh, in the morning, you're gonna
Yeah.
get, yeah. If you need help.
Well, maybe I can do. Yes, I'm concerned that.
Oh, yeah, I get, yeah.
Let you.
The forecast is for showers both Tuesday and Friday.
Really?
Tuesday.
Yeah. So, look.
What time do we need to be?
Isn't I
Ask her, and let me know. I don't want to be there. But until Wednesday night, whether it's canceled. By the time we get enough stuff cut.
Yeah, and so much of, yeah.
Madam Chairman, could you designate someone to take photos that day so that there'll be photos for town report, website?
Did the report get to the town in time?
It did.
Well,
Yep.
thank you.
It's not out yet, but it did
Yeah,
got to them
but
in
it
time.
got in with,
Yep.
with the pictures.
That's what made me think of it, that
Yeah,
picture.
yeah. Thanks.
Take it.
Well, the
Yeah.
thing is you can't put pictures of the kids unless they've given permission. So that's,
Just, yeah,
Rental.
doesn't have to be, just something to record, as time goes on, the things that you've been doing. Just worth 1,000 words. And I've got pictures of the trails community input that you had. Got pictures of a number of things. If you're uncomfortable, that's fine, but Deb, the town clerk, really likes to have pictures.
Yeah, don't the teachers? I mean, that's what they've done.
but
It's usually somebody taking pictures.
We could have. Takes.
We can snap a few pictures.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking.
we can't publish them
No,
unless the kids, they have.
No.
Well, I guess if you had the kids working and you got their backs where they couldn't be identified.
Yeah.
It's getting all their heads down, working at the same challenge.
Yeah, you could have. Like, American Gothic.
Yeah, yeah.
And I changed, I inserted the proposed Garrett Trail connector at at somebody's request, Sue's request. And And, so we're gonna talk about that now, I guess. We were gonna talk about scouting visit we took on April 3rd. Take a look at the maps. ALT would, on the 3rd, Tyler Kennison and Jean-Luc Perriot, from KLT, went with us, posed trail between the Garrett Trail and Snowmobile Trail. Just to and it was very wet. In the spots on we followed an old woods road, and apparently it's the same trail that the high school kids use to go to school. Some of the high school kids use to go on school on their snowmobiles. Did we think four-wheelers as well?
I see,
Never seen a four-wheeler park.
see. And the
He's okay with this. I don't
Yeah.
know how we're gonna separate. If we follow the same trail as.
But I don't think we will. Not the entire way. I mean, if you look at the, does everyone have a copy of the map that they
Yeah.
can see?
Yeah, Sue and I should mention that we took a walk out there ourselves
Different
at the end of
features.
April. And we saw it for our,
Oh, good, good, thank
and-
you.
and we walked the one where Amy and Sue and I had done back in the winter, which was easier. And, but we absolutely saw those wet spots. And
Yeah.
some of them were narrow and you could figure a way to get across,
Mm.
but others were a little bit.
I mean, it's fine for the kids to use on snowmobiles in the winter because
Right.
it's frozen.
Yeah.
And it's probably even okay for the high school all to run track if it's a dry season.
Yeah,
But boy, you wouldn't want it, you can't do it in the spring or even anywhere after. I don't know if you saw this, there's two of these. One of them has water features.
So I'll repeat for anybody that wasn't involved in the discussion before, as we started at the Garrett Trail and followed the red line out to the snowmobile trail. And then there was question on whether or not we wanted to make it a loop. So the guys kind of bushwhacked us back around, make a loop here.
That you went up the one on the left and you came back. on the one on the
Yes.
Uh,
And then
Yeah.
Tyler did with the white dotted line around closer to the water. He did a little off trekking to see if it would be more picturesque, maybe a little higher up, so it would be drier. So we have that option there.
and, yeah, and I thought maybe having it higher up would be considerably drier, but seems to me that they thought that there was something hindering that. I don't.
The
No,
back
don't-
trail, you mean?
Yeah, the upper trail.
I think we ended up just getting too close to houses.
Back, the white, I think we were fine with. The
Oh,
white,
yeah, the white,
white line,
yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how wet that,
no, it doesn't.
yeah.
I mean, the white trail is what Tyler walked that day. And he said it was considerably dry
Drier than the middle trail.
than the, yeah.
So the trail that's closer to the actual brook is drier than the one going up through.
Yeah.
the creek.
Right.
Makes, I mean, if you
Yeah.
look
Yeah,
at
you would,
It's just, and there's
all the
such
feeder
erosion.
brooks.
so,
You can see the contour lines there, contour lines. there, so
Mhm.
it's-
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You can tell you're on some height.
yep,
So if we did go with Tyler's white line, we would have to figure out how to delineate that as our walking trail versus where the snowmobile trail.
Mhm.
Could do it with signage too. The other thing is, we talked to the landowners we'll be asking them non-motorized only. And then there's the question about bikes. I have some other thoughts on the bike. When we get there. But as long, the landowners now, I mean, the kids drive their snowmobiles and nobody's posted it or told them they can't. I wouldn't want to really interfere with what they're already doing. The trails might be together at some point. Some points along it, they might be together. But that white trail that goes closer to the brook, I think, wanna,
You think we ought to focus on that?
there's no snowmobiles.
Yeah, yeah.
You're saying the kids take the snowmobile trail all the way along the trail, that red trail in the
Yeah.
middle?
And then
Pretty
go
much,
into
yeah.
somewhere
Somehow-
along here, they come in back of the, alongside of the softball.
We'd be putting our trail on their trail. Their unauthorized.
Well,
Route.
I think what Jill is saying, up to this point, we might, you know, there's some overlap, but if we go with the white
Yeah,
trail,
you'd miss it, because significant part,
yeah,
but you'd
Yeah.
still have some there and there.
and which, it may be preferable because it's drier too.
And the snowmobile trail isn't just a snowmobile trail, it's an old road.
Yeah,
So it's already cleared.
yeah.
But you probably wouldn't want to put no motorized vehicles. I don't know how the federal,
There's no ATV stickers. See that?
right,
Well, aren't snowmobiles motorized? I mean,
yeah,
consider-
When it's just.
yeah, versus.
But I,
I don't know that we can keep them off this road. No, that's why we want to focus, yeah.
think we could certainly sign the bike trail as.
Hmm.
So I don't think they'd want to go there. It's going to be narrower. I envision, and I know we have to talk about, we have to get to that point too, where we talk about, are we going to allow e-bikes and how wide are we going to have?
Well, are e-bikes considered motorized?
Well, that's the whole, I think the best thing, I sent out an email to John Luke and he sent it to Chris Riley and Chris
Yeah,
Riley is,
And there are two classes.
there's three, there's,
and assisted.
yeah.
Well, three, but one he
yeah,
rules out all.
yeah. I would suggest that if we break into a subcommittee just to talk about the trails, which I think is a good idea because some of the people who come, you're only interested in the trail, although we'd love to have any of you join us as members of the conservation. Technically, the town rules want 7 members and we're only 5. So if anyone feels like they'd like to join Conservation Commission. Yes, the application is on, it's a simple application and it's on the town website. But if we, and I think you had suggested that, Dawn, right? Having a subcommittee to work just on the trails.
Well, because you have, I misunderstood communications with Anthony because we have a conditional award of the community resilience grant, which means that we're going to do an open space plan.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. So now those are two big projects. So my thought was to divide the work up somehow because
Yeah.
this main group can't do it all really. But we'll have a consultant for the open space plan.
But I would suggest when we talk, the next meeting we have where we talk about the trail, that we ask Chris Riley to come and talk to us about bike use.
Who is
And
he?
he's the head of the New England Mountain Bike Association.
Hmm.
And he lives right, I think he's in Manchester.
Mm,
I think he's going to be honest. I mean,
yeah,
I personally think the class 1 bikes where you're always pedaling, it's just an assist. if we could allow some mountain bikers, there's a good chance we'd have a lot of help maintaining the trail, and building the trail.
Come screaming around the
Yeah.
corner.
The one place I've been meaning, I think Chris Riley would be great because he would have encountered this question.
Yeah,
But I want to go to Surrey Hill
yes,
sometime
yes.
because that allows mountain bikers and walkers. And just see if that, how much of an issue is it?
I've been
Well,
to
I've-
Surrey Hill. So Surrey Hill has a combination of trails that you can tell bikers only want to go on those trails. Walkers like have kind of like a separate trail. I don't even know, maybe they go, separately. I'm not really sure. I'd have to go back too. But I do remember when we hiked it, we were just on a walking trail. We could see places where the crazy bike.
Yeah, and
Going, you know, it's like-
I don't go to Surrey Hill. I go there quite often. I use the mountain bike trails. I only go during the week because
Yeah.
most of the people that do mountain bikes.
Yeah.
But I have been on them. And you know, that's the nature of mountain biking, you know.
They're wearing helmets, shoulder pads,
Oh,
elbow pads, knee pads.
Right, but I don't
ankle
mean killing
guard.
my dog.
That's right, I'm saying, they're armed for battle.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, on some of those banked, you know, so I joined NEMBA just for that reason, to support, you know, so I use their trails. And be mountain.
It's a big
You know,
phenomenon. You go to Killington in the off season, it's busier than the winter season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
It's amazing.
It feels like though with our small bit of trail through here, it's not mountain bike adventure park. It's gonna be
Oh,
a
yeah.
very, very chill spot where you can see ahead. And I don't think we're gonna have those kind of problems
I-
unless we're talking about trails on Pisgah,
Well,
which are far more excited.
Many times I've never seen.
Yeah.
My brother he's a part of NEMBA and he's like, nah, it's not, mountain bikers don't like to, it's very rooty. It's just not. Pisgah.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll have that kind of crazy adventure
Right.
bike issue.
The other thing about the snowmobile is you have 6 kids. It's-
yeah.
At the
not
most.
that many,
There's
yeah.
not a lot.
Like 3 weeks.
Yeah, depending on the snow.
I mean, and we don't need to, I mean, we can, up. We can prohibit features. Very helpful. Ramps. They're both stone ramps.
Yeah. Get a trail up the east side of Pisgah. And it's mostly on KLT land. I don't know how they would feel. They have a policy yet on mountain bikes
Yeah.
on their trails.
Yeah.
We're talking mountain bikes and then there's e-bikes and mountain bikes. I mean,
And we don't, I mean, we don't necessarily. Because it's okay. It's up
well,
to-
it's not all KLT.
But I mean,
Well, right now, I think we decided we were just going to work on going as far as the snowmobile trail.
right, right. But in the event, in future,
Yeah. Go to
the
Pisgah.
KLT property covers it down to Cricket Lane.
That narrow way, but that might not be the best way to, that might not be the best route, remember, because. it's
Yeah,
very
yeah, but I
big.
mean, back of Pisgah in its entirety, the east side of Pisgah is owned by KLT exclusively.
Well, most of it, but there's just that, feet that they own butting onto,
Yeah,
oh,
I
so,
mean, maybe we should just focus on.
yeah, I agree. Just focus on to
Yeah.
getting from the Garrett Trail to the snowmobile trail.
Yeah. So when Chris Riley comes to talk, probably ought to focus on that. He seems to want to expand the conversation to include the backside of Pisgah. And at least that's what he indicated in his email.
At some point. That would have to be.
It's just something we'd have to rein in.
Back to the map, how do we decide what Tyler suggests or just track to be suggesting it? We decide which trail to go.
I mean, white and the red.
I think the white's the obvious way.
Yeah.
So do I.
If you, and I think Sue and Joanna would say that too.
Now, you had definitely talked
Because of
about
the
you
water.
need something.
Badly,
over those
badly.
Wet areas, or you need to meander up and down or something,
Yeah, or off.
either meandering or version.
And there's no question that walking along the brook is really pretty and
Mm.
that would be very appealing.
And we had talked about doing maybe a couple of stations off the trail that went down in this case. The observation stations be, or, you know, with an informational panel. It wouldn't have
Bench,
to.
bench.
bench,
like
yeah.
Like there's a bench on the bog. trail-
Right,
Trail, there's a bench now. Brett's Park.
and that would just be easier.
I think this is probably, I mean, when we approach landowners to ask their permission, we have to show them, and I think this is probably, I mean, it could move a little one way or the other, but I think this is, could use this for that purpose, to show them
Mm.
that here's where we're gonna cross you.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
It's even further away from. the houses.
These are tax.
These are all.
To see Charlie Garrett at the transfer station. And he said that he had a discussion with Richard Crocker,
Yeah,
but he's the one that we need the buy-in on. So he needs to be talked to before we can make any plans to even get beyond. this
he's the one
Which
that
one's
didn't
he?
want to sell out to,
But he doesn't,
One's
he
rich.
doesn't wanna sell.
he doesn't want to,
On the White Trail, you even more on his property than
Yeah.
the red one, so.
this one? It's landlocked. I mean,
so I think
But
it's
the
this-
white one splits that big chunk.
Yeah,
That's,
I think it's this big
I didn't realize it.
upside down. This one
Yep.
here.
Which,
I do now.
His name?
Richard.
This one, the
Junior.
T-shaped one?
that's,
Yeah. And Charlie
One.
had,
he's not interested in.
he's not interested in selling.
But he didn't give it, he needs to know more about it before he'd say he'd allow a trail. But this would be probably, if we show him this map and say, this is approximately, we can't guarantee when we actually get out there laying it out, it might look a little different, but that's. But before we talk to landowners, I think we need to be able to say, you know, no ATVs, no motorized.
Well, the red is this lot down on the, down to the road on where the red is as Cagney. But this one here, this says Jacob's Lane on it.
This has
Yeah, I was trying to match them up. What you need to do is kind of overlay them.
This one's Jacobs,
No, this
Uh,
one is
Crocker.
Crocker. Jacobs is here.
Okay, this is, care about him. This one's,
Calcag.
Yeah.
This one, this little,
That little piece is Caprera. That little bit there, and Charlie had talked to him and said he was interested, because we really want him, if, when we go further, when we cross that snowmobile trail, we had talked about going, following his line south or to Turkey. But this map does, so that would be a good,
it's just-
Ron Taylor.
he comes to our meetings,
And he
right?
comes to our
Mm.
meetings,
He's
he's
all-
on board,
yeah.
he's on board.
Cal Cagney, do we think he's a good?
I talked to him on the phone, I sent him a map. I sent him this map with it drawn roughly. This would be a little more accurate.
He's a question
I'm
mark.
going to, yeah, here's a
Well,
question.
Where is this in relation to these? You read. See,
That-
the brook is down here, so I'm wondering if
Well-
we're missing.
Well, this was done earlier. This was
Yeah,
done
no, I
before we
know,
walked
I
the white
know.
line.
I just.
Yeah.
I don't believe that's Winthrop,
These are-
John.
These are Brett's, Charlie's
Yeah, but
sisters.
down
This is
here.
the town. Is it
I
down
have
Winthrop?
And so if we followed the stream as is proposal for that. Just
Taylor,
Crawford
little bit.
and these two.
Yes.
These two.
And he's the one
Right,
that Charlie's.
I'm pretty sure.
Ron Taylor's fine.
What's
Charlie,
the-
it's. Said he'd need to know more about it, so I think we have our act together. Some of us,
It's gotta be one of the first things. That
Yeah.
drives everything.
yeah. Right. So I wonder if Ron Taylor or Charlie, if one of us or some member from this group could go with a landowner, I would say Charlie or Ron Taylor, somebody who's positive about it. Go and show him the map of where it would cross his land. But I think we have to be real specific then about what we're going to allow for uses. I don't know if he's aware of the snowmobile trail that goes across his land.
Is Crocker the, is he the guy that owns lots of land, lots of different places?
I don't, that's the only law that
First name of Joe? First name of Joe?
I met Joe.
oh, you think I joke?
What would you do?
It's unfortunate that when we were first discussing this a months ago, that it was thought that the trail would be crossing on to Garrett's property. And he's all on board of this, and now it turns out that it's not, it's gonna be Crocker's property.
Well, the red,
I think
the red
on-
trail to the right does cross Charlie Garrett's.
Yeah. Coming back.
Well, yeah, the one.
Yeah,
that
right.
was on-
Right.
And I don't know whether we,
That's.
the sister,
You're
the
right.
sister,
These,
yeah. It goes,
Garrett.
goes Moydings,
these two are-
Albury, Barrett.
And then it goes to Cal Cagney,
Gagny,
And then
yeah.
it goes to Kilcagny,
and then,
This is that one.
and then
Then
Ron
Ron Taylor.
Taylor.
yeah, less complicated route, it looks like.
Which one, Mark?
The one you just were pointing out, it's all on Garrett land. I mean, if Crocker becomes a pain in the pineapple,
Well, that's the first question.
Regardless of whether it's Red Trail, west leg of the Red White Trail, it goes over. Crocker.
Yeah, yeah, the Eastern Red Trip wouldn't, but Eastern Red.
Fallback trail.
Yeah.
She asked for the.
do we want, do we want to pursue return route the east? I mean, we need to decide that now too, because that brings in other,
I think
Well, it's,
my thinking is no. That's just my thinking is no, because we're biting off more than what we can chew. I mean, it's definitely what someone just said, it's all red trails, so that would be, or property rather, that would be logistically easy. And if the goal is to do a loop to Pisgah, is that all gonna be manageable? If this is just the goal and that's it, then sure, that's.
well, the goal of eventually is to get to Pisgah.
But then the goal was to get to Pisgah before it was to become a loop trail, really.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
loop trail was just,
Oh, and that's,
Just an idea.
Yeah. but Todd and Jean Luc both, they have a lot of experience with trails for Kennebeckley interest and what makes a trail attractive. And loop trails are attractive.
mm,
So a dead end that goes from Red Trail to the snowmobile trail might not be that attractive.
If it continues on its way to a parking lot, a lane,
Yeah.
it does become a trail.
Yeah, but then we'll have to deal with the landowners on the east side, on the west side of
Right.
Hoyt.
brings in,
And and that will be asking for a grant from the main trails. This piece, we're thinking, there's no way we can have a grant ready for June 26th. But this piece we could do without getting a grant from Main Trails Program. Would be with resources we can muster.
You think we can pay for this piece of trail without the Main Trails Act?
Yes.
Are you thinking like hand grubbing, or you thinking, I can't recall where you landed for a surface? Because you talked about different things like stone dust, ADA, very rustic.
We
Did
don't-
it ever?
We don't have the experience.
Well, most of the trail is existing, except for that
White.
white section. And
on
that's
the- and on the
really maybe
existing-
half a mile.
Also, we'll
not a-
just follow under.
Yeah,
you know.
and the biggest issue is that even on that, there are very wet.
Yeah.
You have to skirt around.
so the white trail would be what?
You thinking?
Eliminates that.
Because that was the snowmobile trail, you would.
Yeah, and it's gonna prohibit motorized transport.
Some of them are, some of the bike paths are very short, so if you had like big. There would be ways you could do it in.
Have both.
Yeah.
See, if we had to do, then I think getting up muscle,
You definitely, for the wet spots, you definitely need to get across those very wet.
The what's, if you do.
We didn't look at the
Didn't
white
look at it.
trail, so,
It would be much less, fewer wets. Not, you don't have the big erosion.
so is the next, sorry. Is the next step to go out and, do another field trip? Flag? be- route?
Well, I'm not
White
flagging
route.
anything until we talk to.
Hmm.
No, I don't think, we talked, because last time Jana talked about the surveying company that did surveying for the Y. And Dawn said we have $2,400 to work with. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so we can take this map and go to the property owners and say, we agree that we want to pursue the white trail. And that's what we can take to the property owners and without
so.
like flagging it? Actually, this does a pretty good. The contours and.
Yeah, it's pretty specific.
It feels like in an ideal world, and I have no idea how you can do this, but it'd be nice to have all the landowners on a Zoom call or something, so everybody's hearing all the same things at once. And,
I
and
think
That's
they need to
true.
prevent why we're even doing
Yeah,
that, you know.
a little presentation on that and.
Request was that kind of storyline so that you know the bigger picture and a second phase or that type of. Not just that we went across there.
It might help for them to all be hearing it at the same time too, because if they know that like Ron is
Yeah.
supportive.
Received, Don sent out letters to all the landowners, not just these, but all these landowners that might be involved, all the way to the Pisco project. So they've had notice that.
Yeah, but the great news is we're getting a lot more specific. now.
Yes, yeah. No,
So
I,
so it's easier to have a conversation.
yeah, we could, there is that initial letter that went out, could borrow some language, just say we're now,
And I would like to talk to you
yeah,
because we have some
because
specific
your land
proposals.
is
Yeah,
on the piece of-
and then just bullet points or something that we want to make sure it's conversation.
Do either of you have experience dealing with landowners for anything like this? Well, ideally, if we could get member this committee. I would be willing to approach Richard Kilcagney. I talked to him on the phone before and he would, and I would ask Winnie Turner if she would go with me, because Winnie knows him from way back and would be a good one to. And maybe Ron Taylor, because Ron's in a butter. We could at least say Ron Taylor's okay with it and.
How many are there, Jill, with this first aid? 6?
Two Calcagnes at the.
No, two,
Goretz,
Correct.
two
two
Goretz at the beginning.
Tourette's, Crocker, Kilcagney, Caprera, and Taylor. Taylor and and Tourette's are okay.
At the end.
Caprera. And Caprera, I mean, we could just pull that line.
Yeah.
to the east.
But he did, Charlie had approached and said, Caprera when we were talking about paralleling his property line to head south,
Yeah.
phase 2, when we talked about him for phase 2. Charlie talked
Oh, okay.
to Caprera about
Yeah.
that, and he wasn't
And he-
opposed to it. So I wouldn't mind talking to him about now and say, well, this is as far as we're going now, but then if he signs on to that and knows that, possibly in the future, the trail that goes on even more.
Yeah, he should know that. Brand is-
Yeah.
Joanne was saying earlier, do you think through regards to Zoom session?
Depends on.
Please,
acceptance they have.
please fix.
Yeah, right. And if they're, I mean, not everybody's.
I think we might do better just to have some language that we, some language.
Just get their attention and, communicate sort of like you really need to, because I get a lot of mail, I just throw it in a pile, right? I mean, I worry the letters are just
Oh,
not.
It's gotta be phone contact, I think.
And yeah, it's just how do you sort of make it more official or more like, we're now we're really ready to. And you could have people send a representative or, something, if they can't do it themselves.
As far as the Zoom, like my parents in their 80s, and they can do it on their phones. If there's only 6 property owners and say some of them weren't able to do it, could we just, one of us be with them? Is that what you just said? Yeah.
I
okay.
didn't say that, but that's a great idea. Yeah, we will. I'm assuming them that
Physically.
they, they're.
Well, I think it's a good idea to deliver the same message. And I think that
I think that sets the stage, but then to like get the whole thing kind of, yes, it's a go.
Yeah.
It would be nice. Everybody hear that, everybody, their neighbors are all on board.
as long as it's,
Corinne and Janet are not here. I'm not sure who else was on that grant writing, but did they start anything? Did they start to fill out the application to say what the whole story or purpose of why we're to get their 10-year agreement?
I think the letter that Dawn sent at the October meeting was pretty clear about what the.
Maybe you could share that letter
Yep.
sometime.
Write it down so I'll remember I can.
I-
Facing.
I think. I think the.
Sounds to me for walkers and bikers.
I think what Sue goes to it, if we all, whoever is talking to anybody, if there's a bulleted list that everybody has, and then, maybe the conversation goes in different ways, but at least you know the major point.
right.
We should be clear.
Right.
Again, I'm a landowner and you're telling me hiking trail, bikes use it.
The hiking trail.
Like,
I feel like missing our community if we don't like.
Your trail is nicely surfaced.
yeah,
There's a picture.
So go into there and then come out at the bottom.
The other thing I think is true to get to the point about, the destruction. I know that, again, my brother, he's active in NEMBA as well. And like Bond Brook has been closed until like last week because the trails are too wet and they don't want there to be damage. So
can see that.
So you can have restrictions of when you can allow bikes, but I do think it opens it up more to the community. I think, I agree, but I think Jill, you were saying this, I think regular bikes that you pedal, maybe with an e-assist, call it at that. Nothing that's only.
ALT should.
Right,
Yeah. these
Right.
do.
yeah, so I think that's how you manage, and you could, hikers still go on that at that point.
From a salesperson approach, when you approach these. Just think out here, but you come up with wording that, this is what we're planning on doing and, positive attitude and, we'll allow, just pedal bikes and we'll, X feet of gravel and do the trails and maintain it and whatever. And what do you think, Mr. Customer? And then you start complaining about something, then you throttle back. Ask for the moon first and then
The idea of these kind of trails like they have, that would be the ideal. And it'd almost be accessible.
We would need grant money to do that for sure.
That
I said, we would need grant money for that for sure.
That's what I'm
I
thinking.
mean,
Yeah,
that's one. Looking at, I mean, with that idea, I love that idea, but we walked and I was like, this is nothing like what the Reedfield trails started out being, you know what I mean? These were like fields and some woods, but it was nothing like what we walked.
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
These were-
In Falmouth, where I was working last, there was a conflict. There was a group of people that didn't want bikes. And they did their best to have both. And I'll tell you what, the bikers showed up when it came time for trail maintenance. They were,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And the NIMBA, I mean, if you got them on board, you'd have a real,
But
Yeah,
my brother
they're
goes out
bored.
with a backpack with a
Yeah.
leaf blower and, he spends
Yeah.
hours. It's all volunteer and. Yeah. Yeah, you have to. And otherwise.
The Because the trail gets. Red.
I think that
Baby
But- but
carriage,
to make-
but,
Tracks.
Right side it goes up and it has jumps
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
so. Yes.
See. Think. We should at least have permission, landowners.
We're talking 4 foot, 8 foot. Yes.
we could also say, and maybe we shouldn't to your point, but we could say the priority is like,
So
There's a lot of-
someone
yeah.
maybe with mobility issues that still wants to ride a bike needs a little
Somebody my age, who would like to ride a bike, but needs an assist on hill. I don't have an e-bike. I haven't, I'm just saying, the people, I have friends who have,
Yeah, but you
And
pedal-
e-bikes-
pedal those bikes, so
yeah,
it's.
there's a,
an assist.
I wish I don't think. I printed it.
I've got the,
Did you print it? Did you print it out? Maybe you can show that to me.
We might have got.
Yeah.
class 1 and class 2.
And KLT at some point, they may be, right now they haven't classified, but Jean-Luc indicated that at some point, if they did, they would use this system to decide. I mean, there are classifications. I'm willing,
If we allowed the motorized e-bikes, now light section trail, wouldn't we have to say, can't say no motorized vehicle?
no, you can say class e-bike. I mean, I'm going to take that, using the letter that to take a stab at then writing that the but I did hear somebody talk about seeing a motorized bike that, that was skidding out. It was a kid on some sort, it was more like a scooter. That was,
Bike made.
And I think to Greg's point where he said, be upbeat about it, talk about the bigger picture, the opportunity and, Winthrop, kind of trying to get people active. What's our motto? The communities.
2010, the 20.
Yeah, Winthrop plays.
It was in about 3 comprehensive plans.
If anybody else, you two want to get together and come up with the language, I'm fine with that.
We could make a start, I mean, everybody.
But I would like the letter. Initially.
And I can,
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Great.
just to start, a start on.
Yeah.
real quick.
Of the language, is to, whether you're saying it over the phone or giving it to them as a written piece.
Well, I think you would do that too. You leave it.
Yes.
You go through it.
Yeah.
And not too many points,
No, no. So Dawn's gonna send you you're gonna send them the electronic copy of.
Okay, we've kind of exhausted the time allotted for this by quite a bit. Can we do some drafting of we want to present to the landowners and then meeting?
Yeah, I think, and they volunteered to do it, but to send it to us via email first
Yeah,
before the next meeting.
And we'll try to get it maybe in the next week.
Yeah.
So that you have it. plenty of time.
That's great, thank you.
Okay. Um, is there time?
Either at the end of May or June, but it's not, all they're asking for if there are changes in priorities.
Right.
And so we have to do this every 2 years, just like updated. So if there are changes, this is the time when we need to let them know. So if there aren't any, I'll let them know that. And if there are, I'll convey that. And so it shouldn't be like a several month
If we
project.
just Go down through this list. And, I have his email here, so.
We maybe just, could Dawn maybe give us an update, the open space, because the open space plan kind of fits into this, right? So where do we stand with that?
So Anthony had sent me, and I apologize because he sent me back beginning of the year, because we checked in a couple of times about it. And it is a conditional approval, and I misunderstood that it was unclear if we're gonna get it. We're going to get it. They're gonna reach out, the next step is they're gonna reach out to negotiate a contract. So to my knowledge, they have not done that yet, but even though it's a conditional approval, Anthony assured me that we got the letter, I forwarded the letter, that it is actually an approval. So we will have funding for the open space
Do
plan.
you know how much?
I think it was 50.
50,000,
Just for the,
right?
just for the open space?
Yeah, because there was other funding that was going something else.
Another item that we applied for along with money for the open space.
There is, the town applied for something else. I'm not sure, I can't recall if
Yeah.
it was energy related. And then he was able to, get a little extra money. Were you looking for the, got that email? You find it?
Yeah,
But
So they found another money source for the energy audits and
oh, here it is. I have it. We have to do a community resilient self-evaluation. And we need to answer. Here.
we need to comment on the status of previously identified priorities. So that's the table
Okay,
part.
so that's the table. We just need to comment on the status.
These items.
Is that still the priority?
That first one where it talks about the goal of conserving percent land, can we say we have just, we're in the process of, or
I don't think you need to comment on the status, just the,
doing an open space?
it's legal.
priority of it. Like if your priorities changed of what you've previously
Oh.
identified.
Oh,
Remember we did the dot democracy down at the library? You guys weren't, I don't think, here yet.
Yeah,
But Stephen did the,
Yeah.
he voted on the things in the chart.
yeah.
So the question, to my understanding, is that was prioritized. Has that changed? Have your priorities changed?
And these are. our
And we
priorities.
still have,
Those are the ones Amy identified I have to go. Yeah, I asked Anthony if there were notes from that meeting. Because it was unclear to me how they documented what was prioritized.
We can just say yes.
These are
You can say nothing's changed.
a lot of these are for the planning board, not for us.
It's a big time thing.
Yeah.
One like a dot model or.
oh, that's right. He had a thing where he identified. This is- Term, midterm. Well, I don't have it. I think it's. The comprehensive plan identifies whether it's a short-term goal or a long-term goal or,
Yeah.
what the priority is.
So how it was done was we voted on it. You all voted on it. You know what? Maybe I'm missing a piece here. Maybe we need those notes. Identified how it was.
Do you think these are actually prioritized in order, or are these just all things we want to get done? I mean, is number 11 on the priority list?
No, I think they
Number-
were, I think those were all the choices we had to vote on.
Is that comprehensive plan you have there?
No, that's not from the comprehensive plan. Those were identified.
Oh,
Yeah. You know what? I think that I'm premature with my question. I think that I don't have the information I need to get for you to make that decision.
When does he have to respond to resiliency?
It's within a month. We'll have time.
it looks like he's responded. He's answered all the questions.
Did you print out that out? Amy, is that what was
Yeah,
had?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't print it out.
Yeah,
And
I just, yeah. He's answered all the
Yeah, it
questions.
says yes or no on everything.
Oh,
Yeah, and, brief explanations, very brief.
yeah, I didn't,
We don't probably have to do any more than very brief Thank.
can I just see that from?
Yeah.
I should.
Submit an updated list of community actions. We'd like communities to use this opportunity to revisit the list of actions. Note any changes in priorities due to new strategies, goals, funding sources, or complete. And they go on further to say this is a great time to host another community workshop, get resident input. And that was the meeting we had at the library. There was town councilors there. It was open to the public. I guess
So,
Anthony wanted time set aside. Those issues. Is that right, Dawn?
This is why I think I'm premature. I
Oh.
think that we're supposed to look
Yep.
at what was prioritized, and I don't see what was prioritized.
Anthony asked,
Could weigh in.
discuss an item on Monday. Oh, Anthony's. No, your.
Yeah, it's my,
The town will submit updated documents as identified below and attached. to the requested agenda item is Conservation Commission. Discuss and comment status previously identified priorities that need to be updated. So I assume that he was talking about these priorities that were.
well, me as well, but the one thing I'm looking at here is that I don't see where we had picked priorities. But I don't see how,
Yeah,
what they were.
So it seems to me that I've seen something,
Well,
and I don't know if it's in the comprehensive plan or not, I can look at home, but that I'm pretty sure identifies the priorities.
back in January 2025, we reviewed recommendations from the comp plan
Mhm.
and discussed certain issues. We need to focus on those items prioritized for short-term implementation.
Yeah, I remember there was a column that said short-term, long-term, and so
Yeah.
on. When I go home, I'll look at at what we have.
This is a different table. It's not the table in the comprehensive plan, which is confusing.
But
But is this the table he wants us to comment on?
That's the table that came with it. But what I don't see, which I believe you need, is you're supposed to comment if the priorities has changed, but I don't see what was prioritized previously. I see a table with all of the options, but I don't see the top priorities.
I'll take a look at the comprehensive. But it doesn't sound like, oh,
Do you remember we all voted with dots Stephen had the flip charts and we had all the items on there and everyone voted what was the most important with a dot at the library. And so that's how we prioritized it. And I don't see that list. So I think I need to get that for you for your next meeting.
That they do short-term, midterm, ongoing
You've
in the
got that.
comprehensive plan. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the listing.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we look,
but it doesn't have a particular order of. Maybe it. State goal. Yeah. We can use this as a guide.
but
This doesn't identify what priorities are. and-
Yeah, that's my understanding is that they want to know, you're still in this program every 2 years, we're going to check in. And maybe update the status, which Anthony has done some. But my belief is that this group is supposed to say, yeah, these are still our priorities, or actually, no, that they've changed. But I don't have the list for you to make that decision based on.
Maybe we get some,
Maybe. So Stephen,
would have changed.
yeah, I don't remember what they were, so I don't know if we finished
I
them.
don't think it's just the items in the comprehensive plan that were listed as short.
No, because this is not the comprehensive
It's-
plan.
Comprehensive, it's the community resilience. When we applied to be a member of the community
Correct.
resilience. Okay. Well, if you find out what we need to do, could we meet again before June?
I'll let you know. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking it would need to be before then, but let me find out. And I apologize. It made sense at the time, but now that I'm looking at it more, I'm like, well, where are those priorities? So
Oh, wait a minute.
it's a premature question, I believe.
So say a big one in terms of that we're going to be doing an open space plan is huge. A lot of things that have to do with
We prioritize that. You did prioritize that. Yeah, it is huge. This whole question about the parking lot, the potential parking lot of Turkey Lane, that's something that could be identified in an open space plan. It would have already been identified, you'd already had support, and then you could bring that to the council and say, this is what the community said in support of the request. So that will be very handy. Not even handy, I mean, it's
Okay, so this is this community resilience partnership is totally unrelated to the comprehensive plan.
yes, correct.
Hmm.
But at first blush, it appears to be a very similar table, to be the same.
Again. Update the primary point of contact. Information. Submit an updated community resilience self-evaluation, which it looked like he's done. Submit a list, an updated list of community actions. We'd like communities to use this opportunity to revisit the list of actions. Where? What list of actions?
Well, from this table, you had prioritized some that floated to the top. I don't remember how many was, if
Oh,
it was
is
5 or, this is not the comprehensive plan. This is the,
Is that us applying for the community resilience?
yes. Yep.
Ah,
So of the options here, you prioritized what the funds, what you would see the most value in for funds from the program. So we have the table, but I don't have the list of what was prioritized. So if you want to indicate if they've changed, you need to know what they are, and I don't see that. I think I'm missing a piece of information that you need.
For the meeting you're talking about and doing the dots, but that wasn't, several of us were there. But there were other members of the community too, but not many people showed up,
Yeah.
as I recall.
The planning board, you all, and some town councilors, I think was primarily, and some staff.
Can we go on to whatever the next item is?
And I apologize because I should have looked at this table more carefully to realize that, oh, they're not identified. I will get an email out to you explaining further. And if it's something that's urgently needed, that we need feedback on, I can communicate what that looks like.
yeah, let's move on to, we did get the community, community resilience grant conditional award for the open space plan, so
We haven't-
what's the next step?
So we get a contract and then the town decides who we want to get for our consultant we hire to.
Anthony will enter into a contract around the funding, and then this group you'll be spearheading it, and we'll talk about, requests for proposals, and then you'll interview based on what's submitted, and choose a consultant, and then you'll start the process.
So the money's not coming from the state, the money is coming from NOAA. from-
Additional money, there was an additional amount. Anthony said that it was like $5,000. That they reached out to him and said this money is available, and so he did the additional documentation that was necessary.
And you think we're getting $50,000?
The 50,000 for the open space plan. Wonderful. And remember, you had reached out to some other communities to get ballpark numbers, and it,
Oh, with some guy who I think did
Bridgeton, yeah.
really nice.
they do. You pointed that out. I've gone there. Yeah.
That's great.
So you talked to the consultant who did it, or the planner that was involved, the
We
person?
talked to the consultant. I can't remember the name of the company, but
We have a copy of the plans. Don't we have a copy of their comprehensive?
So you can see that this is going to be a big task with everything else that's ongoing. So that's why I just wanted to raise that in terms of, you won't have an answer tonight necessarily, but how you can approach the trails and this concurrently. And you have energy behind the trails right now. It feels great, doesn't it?
What's that?
You have an energy behind the trails right now. It feels great.
Yes. Yeah.
wonderful. Those three have showed up consistently.
Yeah.
And
Are they all
Janet,
Winthrop?
well, yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, moving right along, the Department of Agriculture, Conservation, Forestry, Woods Wise Resilience Program is a source of potential financing. Table that till next meeting, or
We can
We're
with the
talking,
town.
you've got land. You need to. And we're talking about it in terms of
Bless you.
I would think we,
invasives, bless you.
Thank you.
removal. And it's up, town has to upfront the money.
and it's a 60% reimbursement.
60% reimbursement. So the town would be paying.
Basic.
We had two grants to look at the school property. We had two the first one identified, and I have copies of them. The 94 acre Pisgah property that's town owned. And that we had a forester, actually it was from Two Trees Forester, not Harold, but a woman who worked for him then. And Harold he's a resilience forester. They did an inventory mapping of where the invasives were. And then the following year, we got a grant to actually treat the invasive. We hired a guy, forester, who was an
Hunter Manley.
Hunter Manley. Isn't
I
that-
think I have those files,
Yeah,
the report. Did you get a report from it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have that.
yeah, you should. I do, but I think it should be in your record. And he actually did some applications. Beside
We're
applications,
trying to control.
yes. Well, but the invasives aren't, it's 94 acres. We would just be, if we applied for the grant, it would just be for the 94 acres that the town owned. Town owned. Most of it was knotweed right in the parking area, and they built a lot of that in. Anyways,
So
we
this-
could wait till the next meeting and talk about this.
Yeah.
There's not really a deadline. It said they thought this program was going to go through 2029. This is a grant-funded program expected to run through December 2020.
Did we get on the road?
I can't remember. Yeah. I do too, but it was,
What you- this-
I thought, I guess what I saw was on money.
Do you have the notes from that meeting of things that I checked, but I don't have Steve notes of what was the overall voting. So I'm going to reach out to Steven.
oh, you're back to the,
I'm sorry, yeah, I jumped all over, because it's bothering me that, yeah, so we voted, here's the priorities, but I marked my priorities and then we voted, and then Stephen took the tally of overall what was, yeah, what was important, most important. So I think that's what I'm looking for.
I'm fine waiting and talking about this
Okay.
wood wise at the next, but maybe everybody in the meantime, I could send links to so you can go online and read more about it if you want. There's a bunch of different forestry. It's through the Maine Forest Service. The thing with invasive, if you have invasives on your land, later they're going to.
Yeah.
Bittersweet. Just such,
Yeah.
yeah, that, it seems. In the meantime, you've got greenhouse.
Well, no, there's a list that they shouldn't be selling. Like, I don't think they can sell barberry anymore. Bittersweet, there's
It's about flaming flame.
I don't know, but a
Blazing bushes. Burning bush.
lot of those are on the list. I mean, you could go on. Department of Agriculture, Conservation and Forestry does have a list for the horticulture program. invasive plants that nurseries cannot sell.
It is, it's like, apparently, the invasive change the composition. Right? Yeah.
Mark,
And the birds.
What?
did you end up with one?
I thought it was Sue's. I was gonna get it back to her.
It was mine.
Okay, it's
It was
right here.
mine.
Yes.
Absolutely. I move that we adjourn.
I second.
I just that I didn't have that prioritized list.
Didn't have time for it anyway.
Here's the list. Does anyone have any changes that they feel? I'll talk to Anthony and see. I'm thinking that we had a little time, but I'll find out.
Walking. Fixed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Saw that. You didn't go to it.
Oh,
I
you
saw
didn't
that
go?
post.
A repair cafe is a common
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
They call it different things. Are you familiar? Were you
I
here?
saw the poster, but I didn't look at the day and I just went back and looked and it was last weekend.
Yeah, they have them all over the place now and, but you have to recruit people who know how to fix things. And, I've seen such a variety of things that like people will come with a sewing machine and show people how to,
Yeah.
everything and keeps
Right.
things out of the landfill.
Got it.
Yeah, yeah.